What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Sunday the 14th. I'd mentioned in the irrigation video I'd been gone for basically 2 weeks. Didn't get to leave anywhere, just had to stay home for 2 weeks. And then now it's been a full week of work since I've been back. I got to thinking, I really haven't showed you guys what's been going on lately. I mean, all my video uploads were stuff that were recorded and just I finally ran out of YouTube content, so now we're caught up. Minus the video that hasn't posted yet about irrigation, but by the time you see this, you will have seen that. So, let's go catch up on what's been happening the last 3 weeks. So the biggest thing that always happens this time of year, every year, is the expansion of the cattle herd. So summer and fall, we don't feed, or early fall, we don't have a whole lot of cattle on hand. One, because of the heat, makes it hard for them to gain weight efficiently, makes it hard to make any money. Two, we don't have the manpower available. But as silage winds down, all of a sudden we've got more guys available. We start expanding back out our herd, getting it back up to capacity. And when I say our herd, we're not cow-calf guys. We are what are known as stocker backgrounder, which means we buy from the cow-calf guys. We'll buy cattle that weigh between 500 pounds, clear up to 700 pounds, group them together in semi-load lots, and then turn around and sell them to a finishing grower when they get to about 850 pounds, sorry. So cattle here about 90 days max and they're gone. But that's just kind of our little niche market, you know. We'll buy one at a time or we'll buy 100 at a time, group them all together and send them on to the next stop. But that requires a lot of labor. And that is the one nice thing about having our hay, silage, and cattle operations, all three of which require quite a bit of labor. Because we do all three and it kind of spreads throughout the year, that lets us keep our guys employed year-round, which is awesome because that means we don't have to train guys annually and then at the end of summer, once they kind of have it all figured out, let them go. Instead, we train them and you're stuck here till you want to leave. Yeah, let's go see what else is going on. Manure. Still going on. Manure. So Jill has been slinging poop for about 2 months on our ground, and she's still not done. That poor girl. I don't know how many more acres we got to go. I don't even know off the top of my head how many acres we've done. All I know is it's been a lot. So she has been going for, like I said, basically 2 months straight, hauling manure from the big feedlot. What is it from here? About 8 miles? One semi-load at a time. So you figure 25 ton, they're going to do about 1.5 acres with that, or a little over an acre. So that field I'm looking at here, this half circle, because it's short half, is 50 acres. What's that going to take? 30 something, maybe 40 loads? That's 40 trips over there and all the way back. Over there, all the way back. It takes a long time to spread manure. That's why even though it's very cheap to buy manure, it costs almost as much as commercial fertilizer in a normal year. This year it's a whole lot cheaper than commercial fertilizer because those guys are getting screwed. But let's not start down that rabbit hole today. Field work. Field work is another thing that's been going on the whole time. Maddie and Hector have kept the wheels turning, chasing Jill. We're almost caught up to her again with the disc ripper. Would be if we'd been running this weekend, but didn't, so no big deal. There's another field that's already been ripped other than the ends. Yeah, the ripper, the Colts packer, and now here lately the wheat drill, because we got some more irrigation water, means we started planting more wheat. We actually have really good luck planting wheat, getting this late in the year, because we still get pretty warm temperatures. So as long as you get that wheat to germinate before a hard freeze, then it can vernalize and turns into a massive crop. Well, you hope a massive crop. We'll find out in months and months from now on that part. But yeah, so we've had a lot of field work done. I mean, God, we got to fix that pothole. Other than a few days here and there when we were waiting on Jill to get back out ahead, we've had the disc ripper and stuff like that going. Getting across a few acres. It's nice to get this much done in the fall. A little less of a push come spring thaw now. And as you know from my last video, the thing that's kept us busy for the last 12 days or so, irrigation water, which is a massive blessing to get run of water this late, because we had a lot of wheat that looked like it was all but dead. So our canal, and I'm talking a late run of water because this is about as late as it can get. Our canal is open from midnight on March 15th to midnight on November 15th. So we're irrigating 8 months out of the year. Or the canal has water in it 8 months out of the year. You get water whenever it's your turn to get water. The other 4 months of the year, that water that would be coming down our canal is going into a storage lake to be used for irrigation next year. To get a run of water this late is fairly odd, but not completely. I mean, normally we get something the end of October, 1st of November. So to get it literally 24 hours before the canal shuts off, that was a savior over here. So we've had water go through everything. This is the end of the canal right here. This little valley kind of right through here. This is the end of our canal system. So it made it to the bottom. Now they'll just have a drain out tomorrow, and then the canal will be off for 4 months. But yeah, our wheat is looking good now, thanks to this last second irrigation. Now, with the end of harvest comes everyone's favorite thing: cleaning up equipment. Bart, Glenn, and Cam have been quite busy. So if you recall back the last day of baling video, they were blowing off the balers and we weren't ready. So that morning, Bart went out with his baler and baled up the couple acres that we had all forgot about, and then immediately started cleaning out his baler. And I thought, great, let's get his put away. We can use mine to do the last 20 acres or so that we were debating on going and swathing. Dad and I leave for a crop insurance meeting, come back later that afternoon. They've got my baler cleaned out and blown off. So I looked at Dad and I go, I'm not telling them we still have more to bale. You got to do it. And he goes, well, maybe we just won't bale that. So both balers blown off. We do not wash balers just because the thought of putting water on a baler makes my head hurt. Both of them have been through the shop. They are already ready to go for next year. Turning to this side, the silage equipment. Both corn heads have been blown off and washed, ready to go into the shop for their usual go through. And if it's like usual, that'll happen in July. Glenn's 8700 has not even been blown off yet for the end of the year, just because with the choppers and the way they collect animals, it's not really worth blowing them off till it's ready to go in. 9800 has been blown off, pressure washed, and is in the shop. We'll get to that in a minute. Walking around here, still got our bush hog hooked up. As you can see, it has not been blown off and cleaned up for the end of the year yet. Oh, the two pickup heads. Both of them have been blown off. Neither one washed yet, but they're both blown off. Bart got his little baler cleaned up. And then, what else we got over here? The drill has not been cleaned up because we are still planting wheat. And then the swather has been blown off but has not been washed. The only other piece of equipment not over here is the zern. It has not been blown off. So, I mean, you think about it, in a couple of weeks span to get a swather, 2 balers, a chopper, 2 pickup heads, 2 corn heads all blown off, and also get the 2 corn heads pressure washed and the chopper pressure washed, which each of those takes damn near a day, a full day. on their own. And you guys have been busy. Let's go see what's happening in the shop. So if you're new to the channel and wonder why I never have the camera in the shop like when we're working on stuff, it's because Bart and Glenn have both said they will smash the camera if they see it while they're trying to work. So I just kind of try to do a weekly or every other weekly shop update throughout the winter. So here's a familiar sight. Red 245 missing the hood. And all the exhaust and turbo and everything tore apart. But this time it's a little bit different. So we've had some turbo trouble with this tractor before. We had a turbo go out, got a replacement turbo, and it sounded like crap. Replaced it again with what is still a good turbo. But now we had an exhaust leak. And as you can see, the exhaust manifold right there is gone. Side of the engine opened up. We started messing with it, trying to figure out why is it leaking so bad. Got a straight edge put on it. Well, the dang thing is warped. And yeah, I know that end is a little twisted. Don't worry about that. It's 2 pieces. But it is warped. So, called our local case dealer, which is only 100 miles away now, over in Kansas. And the manifold is a kit. So here's the first half of the kit. You got the 4 cylinders, bolts, shims, everything in there. Over here in this little box is the other half of, or the other piece of the kit for the 2 on the end. But as you can see, their tape didn't hold. So we're missing gaskets, we're missing bolts. Waiting on replacement parts for that. No big deal. Turbo's in good shape. Waiting on hoses for it. 9,800. So let's see, let's start here at the front. Glenn the other day got the front plate ripped off. Yeah, we spent a full day with an air compressor and a full day with a pressure washer, and that's how much dirt's already come out of this thing. But anyways, Glenn got the big mounting plate on the front here ripped off. As you can see, still cracked. Didn't fix itself. So that way now we can get in here and start checking bearings. Knives are probably going to get changed. There's decent carbide left, but not a whole lot. Cutter bar definitely needs changed. Start going through bearings, everything through there, all that fun stuff. But this monstrosity has one big problem left. If you remember, well, last time I was running it, I was talking about we had the fuel line spliced, waiting on a new one. Here is the new one. They went from 2 individual lines that would hook up here and each run. This Hinda hooks up to the ECM. Each of these goes to the low pressure side of a fuel injector pump. 2 sides to the engine, so they have 2 different fuel injector pumps. They went from the 2 braided lines that were flexible to this solid. To put this line on, there's another solid line up there that goes across that you have to take off to get out of the way so you can monkey this thing in how it needs to be. Get that bolted into place, go to put the other line on, and it is directly in line with this. I mean, no wiggle room whatsoever. Directly in line. Call Deere over in McPherson, our chopper whiz. He does some research, calls back the next day and says a DTAC case has been opened up, waiting on an answer from John Deere engineers in Germany, because there is no solution for that right now. It has been 3 weeks now. No, 4 weeks. Hell, maybe even 5 weeks. I don't know. Waiting on an answer from a John Deere engineer in Germany to tell us how to put their parts on their machine. Oh, it's insanely frustrating. Come on, Klaus, get that dealership built here so we can actually really look at buying that Klaus. Oh, and engineers wonder why farmers hate them. One last thing. So that kind of catches you up on everything that's been happening in the last couple weeks. But today, like I said, is the 14th, which means this previous Thursday was Veterans Day. If you're a veteran, thank you for everything you guys do, everything you are willing to sacrifice for us. It's amazing, and there's not enough that can be done or said to show our appreciation for everything you guys do for us. In the spirit of Veterans Day, though, there's been a group of Marines at our local airport here doing maneuvers, or using our airport as their base for maneuvers. How long have they been here? A week? And different groups and restaurants have been catering lunches and dinner for them. I'm talking 100 Marines. Our County Farm Bureau volunteered to serve dinner Thursday night, and we decided to go all out. We grilled steaks for them. You cannot imagine the joy on their face to get a nice, hot, fresh steak as they're climbing out of their helicopters. I have my phone out, so I make sure I say this right. So the group here is United States Marine Corps, HMLA 269 Gunrunners. What that is a Marine Light Attack Helicopter Squadron. So they had Cobra attack helicopters, Hueys, and the coolest thing of all was Ospreys. Ospreys running back and forth between base at Colorado Springs, bringing these guys supplies. These guys are based out of North Carolina, so they've been freezing all week here. But it was awesome Thursday night to get to go hang out with them, feed them, watching them come straight from their helicopter, come running into that hangar to get a nice hot steak while they were still cold. That was pretty cool. But we got a lot of cool video that night as the helicopters were coming in. And I got joking with them. I go, all right, I'm coming back tomorrow so I can actually see what's going on. Oh, sorry. Magnet got stuck. I'm coming back tomorrow in the daylight so I can see what is actually going on. They go, yeah, come back right around noon. There should be helicopters coming and going. So me and my wife and a buddy go out there, watch helicopters take off, run into the CO, talk to him a little bit more. And he goes, if you think this is cool, he goes, come back about 4 o'clock. That's when the Ospreys are going to start bringing in supply drops. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go through my phone, upload a couple cool little videos I took of all the different stuff out there. Next one. 2 more. That's where we're planning. coming in high.